Good afternoon, Don Briggs, your mayor. Today is Monday, November 16th, 2020. Today I'm joined by Amber Madigan, our new principal at Emmitsburg Elementary School. Thank you, Ms. Madigan, for joining us today, and we look forward to having a little conversation with you in these exciting times we're all living through, in challenging times. I'm going to give a little update on COVID, and then I'll be right back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. As of this morning, confirmed COVID-19 information for the state is state testing. We've had 3,894,566 tests. Confirmed cases, 167,556. Persons testing negatively, if I can say that, 1,955,619. Total deaths, 4,160, plus 7 in the last 24-hour period. Frederick County has had 5,616 cases, 133 deaths, 8 probable related deaths. In our zip code 21727, we've had 87 confirmed cases. That's up 10. The last 24 hours since November 4th. For the state the demand for ICU beds is up, acute beds is up, and total beds is up. So the governor is put into another gear here that we should curtail our 75% occupancy for restaurants and other gatherings, church, bars, and along that line, any other gatherings, take it to 50%. And our county executive has asked that under certain circumstances, depending on the size of the crowds, are those at the gatherings of 25%. So that's where we are right at the moment, and there isn't stepped up attentiveness to this, and we've got our masks we wear, social distance, and wash your hands at all times. Thank you for taking the time to visit with us, Ms. Madigan. And
Thank you for having me.
It's funny, I saw that movie with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Have you seen that with Tom Hanks?
Not yet.
I didn't realize that Mr. Rogers was a sixth cousin of Tom Hanks. They are related, but it was just really, really good, and it's good to have you here. You remind me that, kind of kicks in, connects a little bit there. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over there. I mean, when did you get to start here? It was August, wasn't it?
So July 1st was my official start date.
Okay, and you walked into and we've never done this before, all this stuff. So tell me a little bit what's happening over there.
It's definitely been an interesting journey. This is actually my first principalship. Prior to this, I was at Yellow Springs and at Hillcrest. So walking into a situation where we're going to be in a virtual environment was definitely not the way that I would have imagined starting my first principalship. Of course, you want to build relationship with the community and begin to really hear from your stakeholders, and this made it a little bit more difficult to be able to hear from everyone in the way that we normally are able to. Our parents have been phenomenal. Our PTA really shared a lot of the needs of the community. Our teachers and staff members have been working really hard to support our students. This has been a trying time, I think, for our families. Everyone is doing the best that they can to be able to support our students virtually, but we have a lot of families that need to work. So we have been really trying to be flexible with our families. Some of our students participate during the day virtually, while others have to wait until their parents are home and they're watching recordings and working on assignments. And so we've been really working hard to try to get a pulse on where our families are, where the needs are, so that we can continue to support our students during these trying times.
How are we feeding some of these students? Is the school bus still out there at Jubilee, or where?
So it's actually happening live at our school on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Our cafeteria is open. We're actually using the back exit so that they can enter and utilize the cafeteria line and then exit out of a secondary door. And when they come in on Monday, they'll pick up food for Monday and Tuesday. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same thing for Wednesday. And then Friday, they pick up for the weekends. And we've put all of that information on the Emmitsburg Elementary School website, so any families who want more information can access that there.
And what time is the serving again?
I believe it's 11 until 1.
Okay, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Correct.
That's terrific.
Now, if there's a holiday in the mix of that, like Thanksgiving week, they're going to serve on Monday and on Tuesday. And then the week of Thanksgiving, they'll be provided with food for that week on Tuesday.
Oh, wow, that's good. Ed Hine with the student homeless group SHIP, he felt we have up in this area about 90 students who are homeless or qualify under that measure. Is there a way? I know we won't have a lot of discretion, not identify they, for a lot of reasons. And how do they get food now, or is there anything that any those kind of
So there's been a lot of things happening in our community just to kind of support that. I know that the Emmitsburg Food Bank has been helping out with that.
Okay.
Our counselor has been meeting in her feeder group to have conversations about how to support students. Our backpack program is coming back to be able to provide for our students. So a lot of it is just coordinating with excellent educators and our counselors to make sure that if families aren't able to come to the building, that we find a way to get them the support that they need.
Tell me a little bit more about backpack.
So traditionally during the school year, we have a group of individuals that create a bag for our students with meals for the weekend. And so that program traditionally would be housed in our building, and on Friday our students would leave with basically a little care package of food for the weekend. And that kind of stopped during COVID because of providing food back and forth and just touching things that you're then handing to other people. So we've been working really hard to kind of coordinate and look at the guidance to see when we would be able to provide that support again. Our counselor shared with me that will be happening in the upcoming week and that families will be notified that have participated in the past.
Oh, so it's going to start this week. Oh, that's fantastic. One of the holiday. That's terrific.
Our counselor's also working really hard to connect with families that may need support over the holidays, either with gifts for the holiday season or with food during Thanksgiving. So we've been trying to work in coordination with our local agencies to make sure that those needs are met as well.
Okay. Is there any way that people in the community can give gifts or anything? Is there a method for that?
Right now, they could contact our school counselor or just call into the front office and let us know that they would be interested in supporting us in that. Okay. And then we'll be able to coordinate what types of support we would need.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really, it's a very giving community, and we do love our school. It's one of the most important things right now for myself and all of our commissioners, that we take care of Emmitsburg Elementary, and every one of them and our staff. We 100% back the school and want everything for it. And we'll be talking to you more about some things that maybe you need over there, because we're really going to pedal to the metal on this. What's the biggest thing? Parents. Prior to this, our conversation, you talked about they want clarity. Could you tell us a little bit about what?
So there's been a lot of decisions that have been made throughout this process. We started out the summer thinking that we were going to begin the school year in a hybrid model, and then our board came back and decided, no, we don't think that's what's best for our community, and we're going to go virtual. And so because we wait for the guidance of our board and then we move forward with decisions, a lot of things have been sent out to our families in what seems like an untimely fashion. And so I think that was very, very difficult, especially for working parents, to be able to make provisions for their children and to determine how they're going to move forward in these unprecedented times. And so we're trying really hard to communicate as quickly as possible to our families. We've streamlined our newsletter and are using a more fashion to try to get information out to our families, as well as utilizing our Schoology, which is our new learning management system, to communicate with families. But I do think the uncertainty of when we're coming back to school, what does hybrid look like, what will that schedule look like, has been very difficult for our families to be able to plan. We heard from our families when we were looking at marking period 2 and adjustments that we might need to make, that many of our families, because we condensed our schedule to prioritize a lot of like our virtual instruction early in the morning and keeping the afternoon for some of those independent tasks that our students are doing, our parents adjusted their schedules many times so that they would be able to stay home in the morning while that virtual instruction was happening, and then they would go to work in the afternoon. So as we were problem solving, we really tried to keep that in mind, because our parents really have voiced that change often is really hard for them. Even if it's going to solve a small problem, it might create a bigger problem at home as they're trying to juggle work and school and all of the things that they've been faced with. So we're really trying hard to listen to our families. Our teachers have reached out and have really brought some concerns back to me after conferences are concerned, to make sure that they're heard when we're making those decisions, because what seems like a problem-solving solution to us might create a problem that we don't realize in their homes, and we're really trying to work to support our families during this time.
That's terrific. That's really good. Starting school in the spring, we have no idea.
So as of right now, our board did approve to start hybrid in the end of January. Our teachers will be coming back in the middle of January to prep their classrooms, and what we're going to be doing between now and then in our board is we have been collaborating with the Frederick County Health Department to monitor the most up-to-date information and really to monitor those CDC guidelines. When we get closer to the start date for hybrid, our board is going to be looking at, the matrix to see where we are as far as COVID cases are concerned, to ensure that it's safe for our students to return to a hybrid setting. We, of course, will communicate with our parents as soon as we have information, but because a lot of that information we won't know until closer to the date, it's just uncertain at this time what it'll look like.
And you have to think about the infrastructure. Hybrid, you mean some will be in class, some, we have buses going out that will be half full or
Yes.
3/4 or 25% full, which may be healthy. I guess we'll have to identify some way that they sit separately, and maybe some routes will need 2 buses or something. It's really kind of well, how many students do you have now?
We have approximately 200 students enrolled in our school right now.
Okay, that's phenomenal. That's really good. Support for the students. You mentioned something about HelpNet. What?
So we've set up something that we lovingly, call our Help Nest. It basically is Google Meet that is live all day long. Our school counselor, our reading specialist, our math specialist, and several other teachers are online from 9 o'clock until 3 to be able to support students. Early on, a lot of our students, were online asking technology questions. Now they seem pretty comfortable with the technology that we're using, so a lot of the questions that they're asking are more academic in nature. They may be reaching out because they're confused about a math problem, or they're not sure about the reading assignment, or they had opened something and it just doesn't, they don't understand the directions and they just need a little clarity. And so we have staff members available between those hours to be able to help our students with those supports. I feel like a lot of our parents reached out and utilized it when they needed technology support, but we do want our families to know if any child needs help academically during the course of the day, that resource is available, and their teachers also have office hours to be able to support them through that work. And so they can access our help nest on the school website. It's linked right there, and the hours are included.
Okay, very good. Do we have any families up here or students who don't have the resources or technology?
So we have been working since the beginning of the school year to identify that. The county sent out a survey to see which families would be in need of technology. So our fabulous secretary, Mrs. Saylor, and I have been working really diligently to get technology into the hands of our students. We're fortunate to have a fabulous PTA who's really supported the growth of our technology in our building, and also the support of Frederick County Public Schools. As we've needed anything for our students, they've found a way to get it for us. And so any student who has needed a device currently has one. We also just hired a user support specialist who is available to help with any damaged computers or things that need to be replaced, and then we provide them with a replacement device while we're working on the other one. In addition to that, a lot of our families who may not have had the technology as far as Wi-Fi is concerned, we were able to provide hotspots to those families to ensure that they could connect. We did have a few families that even with the hotspot weren't able to, because of where they live, access internet effectively. So we were able to bring some of those students, the families that were comfortable, into the building to access their virtual instruction in our building.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's very good. Good. Yeah, I'm going to go over a few things. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Later today, Emmitsburg will receive the Small Business and Entrepreneurship Award for providing interested business owners a list of local, state, and federal incentives and showing potential business owners list of open properties. Be presented by Jody Bollinger, Frederick County Office of Economic Development. Where congratulations to our staff and to our commissioners and all our community for this award. It's not possible without everybody working together. We're going to ask everybody, please support your restaurants and local businesses. We're going to go through a rough time here. The students will go home in another week, and it's the first time we haven't had that economic benefit of them being here for November and December and most of January. So keep that in mind. Please shop locally. We will have a virtual closed session commissioners meeting Wednesday evening, November 18th at 7:30 this week, and our next meeting will be Monday. Regular scheduled meeting will be Monday, December 7th at 7:30. Everything is virtual in this thing. This Wednesday, I will have Mount President, University President Tim Traynor as our guest, come back and talk to us a little bit about the change in the diversification of the university, and equity and inclusion a little bit will be his main theme, but also we'll find a little bit more about what we can expect, if anybody can expect anything at the university over the winter months. Do you have any final comments for us? You could share anything that really enlighten us. We're all, it's like a flip of the coin every morning. What's going to happen? But we definitely support you, and you've got to reach out and tell us how we can support you. And there was a time before this I'd come over and every year and talk to the fourth grade students and give them. I don't know. We can do that in the spring, and we have a lot of talented commissioners and things like that. But any final thoughts for us, Nadia?
I would like to thank our community. I truly believe that when I came on board, there was just so much support for the school. We've kind of utilized the statement small but mighty. And I have felt that about our school since the moment I entered those doors. And I feel like the best way that we can support our kids right now is really making sure that we're reading with them and spending time with them and providing them that nurturing environment that they need right now. I know it's been so hard for them. And if our families run into a situation where they need anything, we have found a way to meet those needs. So please reach out. They're never, ever, ever a bother. I feel like a lot of times our families feel bad when they call in and ask for what they need, but we're here. That is 100% what we're here for, and we want to make sure that our kids continue to thrive despite the distance. And so I would just encourage our families that if they need anything, to please reach out and make sure we know what the needs are so that we can continue to support and reach out to great partners like you to be able to fill those needs.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming today, and on behalf of myself, our staff, our commissioners, and our community, I want to thank you for taking the time to come over. I know it's very busy, and it changes all the time, and really appreciate it. And I'd love to invite you back maybe in this spring somewhere in there. We'll get together and see where we are.
That would be great.
And but thank you again very, very
Thank
much.
you.
Well, that ends our presentation. I want to thank everybody. I will have another one this week, but if I miss you, have a happy, wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We still have a lot to be thankful for, and especially at our elementary school and having a principal like Miss Madigan. Thank you. Have a good day.